So the last video for graphing quadratics, now we have it in intercept form or factored form. So remember, in intercept form, we know the X intercepts. So to find the X intercepts, we take what's in our parentheses and we set them equal to 0. So this is our X intercepts. So I take X plus 2 equals 0, X minus 6 equals 0. To solve, I subtract 2, get X equals negative 2. There's that point. So I get negative 2 comma 0. And then on this one, I add 6 to both sides. And X equals 6. So I get 6 comma 0. Also, if we were to look, if we just take the opposite of the inside, so opposite of positive 2 is negative 2, and the opposite of negative 6, positive 6, you can do that as well to save you from having to do some of the math. So now I'm going to plot those. So negative 2, 0 is right there. 6, 0 is right there. Now I need to find my vertex. Before I can find my vertex, I need to find my axis of symmetry. So my AOS. So remember, that's X equals P plus Q divided by 2. We want to find the middle point or the middle ground of the two X intercepts. So my P would be negative 2. My Q is 6 divided by 2. Negative 2 plus 6 is 4 divided by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So my axis of symmetry is X equals 2. That is the middle ground of those X intercepts. Now all we need to do is find the vertex, and we have our 3 points. Okay, so my vertex, since I know my axis of symmetry, I know the X value of my vertex is 2. I just have to find the Y value. So I plug it in. I get a negative 1/2 times 2 plus 2 times 2 minus 6. So 2 plus 2 is 4. So I get negative 1/2 times 4. 2 minus 6 is a negative 4. And negative 1/2 times 4 is a negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 4 is a positive 8. So my vertex is 2, 8. I'm going to plot that. It's about right there. Okay. Right there. Now, we know because this A value right here is negative, it should open down. And if I connect all my points, my parabola opens down. So we know it opens down. I have a maximum since it opens down. My domain is X is an element of all the real numbers. It's the same for every quadratic. My range, well, let's see what my range is. Okay, my range is Y. My highest Y value would be 8. Everything's getting smaller, so it looks like that. The one thing I forgot to do would be the Y-intercept. So if you need to pause this to write everything down, pause it, but I'm going to erase it. So erase. Let's talk about the Y-intercept. Remember, to find the Y-intercept, you plug in 0. So let's do it in this navy color. So Y-intercept, we plug in 0. So I get a negative 1/2 times 0 plus 2. Then 0, not X, I'm sorry. We get 0 minus 6. I get a negative 1/2. 0 plus 2 is 2. 0 minus 6 is a negative 6. A negative 1/2 times 2 is a negative 1. Negative 6 times a negative 1, or negative 6 times a negative 1, yeah, is a 6. So my Y-intercept is 0, 6. So there we have graphed everything, and we know everything we need to know for graphing in intercept form. If you have any questions, please email me. Your quiz will be tomorrow.